Okay, in this video I'll quickly show you how to control or format a web page with the help of CSS document. I have created a folder by the name of my site, which would be the folder for my for all the documents that I'll create or I'll need for this website. At the moment, this folder has just one JPEG image, and this is a JPEG image that I created in Photoshop for this website. This is a logo, or this is a banner for this website, and other than that the folder is empty. I also have created a layout for this website. It's very simple one. This is the simplest one that you can have. On top you have a banner or logo area. On your right hand side below the banner there's a content area. On your left hand side below the banner you have a navigation bar, and if we have enough time we'll create this advertisement area, but we have to create a footer, and this footer will have copyright information. Okay, so I'll open Dreamweaver, and you can use any professional HTML editor or CSS editor, and the result will be exactly the same. This is the only professional HTML editor that I have. So I'll go to File and I'll create a new file. I'll create a HTML document. So the document is untitled right now, and it has a design view, a code view that has very little code in it, and the code is not visible in design view, so you can't see anything. So HTML document, as you know, is composed of several tags. The first one is HTML tag, and there's a head tag, and then there's a closing head tag, and then this is the body, and this is closing body tag, and then in the end you have a closing HTML tag telling the document that this is the end of HTML. So I'll save this document as, and notice that I'm saving it in my folder called my site, and I'll give it a name, index.html. Save, and I'll open another document. I'll create another document, CSS, and I'll save this document as, again, within the same site that has my index page as well as my banner. I'll call it my style. Okay, so now we have two documents. We have a index HTML page, and we have a style sheet. Now we want to control the behavior of this index page with the help of this style sheet. So what we have to do, we have to link this style sheet, or we have to reference this style sheet from this page. So what I'll simply do, I'll press F8 on my keyboard, and I'll press this tab here, CSS Styles. There's a this little icon. I'll click this and I'll browse, and there is only one CSS document. I'll click this, I'll say OK, and I'll say OK, and if you notice, this piece of code has been added to this HTML document. If you are experienced web designer, you can simply type in this code and it will do exactly the same. So we'll go to this design view now, and all we want a banner area. I'll say banner area, and we want a content area, a side navigation bar, and we want a footer, and we'll see if we have time we'll create an advertisement area as well. So we want to divide these four areas into containers, and we do that usually with the help of something known as a div. Okay, so I'll enclose this area in a div container, and to do that you have to open an angle bracket, div, and close this, and then you can close this div tag, angle bracket, /, and it should automatically close the tag. Now because we want to reference this area, we want to this is enough, but because we want to control the behavior of this tag with the help of CSS document, we have to give it an ID. So ID is equal to maybe double quotation open banner, we'll call it BANNER, banner, double quotation close. Now this div container has a name that can be referenced with the help of, that can be referenced in a CSS style sheet, CSS document. So I'll get rid of everything and I'll reference div tag £, and the name of the tag was banner, open curly bracket and then close curly bracket, and within curly brackets you can say border. I'll press Control space bar, border, I'll say thin, solid and black. We want a thin solid black border for this one. And if I go to index page and I go to design view, should have a border around this banner area. So we'll go back to CSS document and I'll reference body tag as well, BODY, open curly bracket, close curly bracket, and then I'll say control, I'll press control and space bar and I'll say background color and I'll click color and maybe let's see, maybe light gray, semicolon, and go back to your index page, go to design, and the background has been changed. I'll go to CSS document once again and I'll say width and I'll say 1000, maybe 1002 pixels, semicolon, and this is an invisible container. Now again, banner, we want width 1000 pixels and we want height 240 pixels. That is the height of the banner that I've created. So if I go to index page and you have a banner area 1000 pixel width and height 240 pixels. And if I go back to CSS document, I can say background color and I can change the color to white, and I'll just want to show you the effect of this. Now we have to deal with this content area. So I'll go to HTML page, I'll go to code view and I'll create a name. I'll create a div tag first of all and I'll say ID is equal to double quotation and I'll say content. So that is the name of this div tag, and then we have to close this div tag here. Now we have a name for this div tag, so we can reference this div tag in our CSS document. So £, once again, content is the name of the div tag and I'll say border again thin solid black, width I want 800 pixels, height would be auto, and I want to float it towards the right side. Okay, and I want background color to be white once again, semicolon, and I can go back to my index page, design view, and we've done something wrong here. Content area, width semicolon, and go back to index page, and the content area is 800. So I'll say this is my content, this is more content, and this is even more content. I'll copy this, Control C and Control V several times, and Control V few times, and Control V few times. So this is my content area. Notice that the lines are way too close. So what we can do, we can control this as well. I'll go to CSS and I'll say margin on top side, maybe 5 pixels. And if I go to index page, we have a gap here, and we also have a gap here that we did not want. For this, we'll have to go to index page, code view, and we'll have to remove this paragraph tag here, and also from here. Okay, so go back to design view, and you have a nice content area. The only thing that is not good is that the text is very close to the border. So we can control this as well. We'll say padding 5 pixel semicolon, and because we are adding 5 pixels on all sides, so we'll have to decrease the width. So 5 pixels on the right side, 5 pixels on the left side, so we have to decrease it by 10 pixels. So that would be 790 now. So go to index page again and design view, and then you have a nice little gap here. Okay, everything is aligned, so far so good. Now we have to deal with this navigation bar. So we'll go to code view again, and then we'll enclose this in a div tag. We'll give it a name is equal to, and we'll say side bar. We'll close this, double quotation close, and then angle bracket close, and then you have to close this div tag here. Okay, so our side navigation bar or sidebar is enclosed in a div tag now, which has an ID of sidebar, and we can, because this has an ID now, we can reference it in our CSS document. Pound sign sidebar, was it sidebar, and open curly bracket and close curly bracket. Okay, and then we can say border thin solid black as with everything else, and we can say width should be, I'll say 190 pixels, and background color is white as everything else, and I'll float this to left side this time, semicolon, and I will also, let's have a look first. Okay, side navigation bar, again this is bumping into the banner area, so we'll have to give it a margin same as this. So we'll say margin top, and I think it was 5 pixels for content area, which is here 5 px. And if you go to index page and we can get rid of this. We can say home, we can say page 1 and page 2, and maybe we'll add other pages later on. So we have, it's taking a shape now. I'll show you what to do with this. I'll go to index page, code view, and I'll remove p tags, paragraph tags, all of them, and this one, and this one, and this one. And within this div tag, I'll say open angle bracket unordered list. I'll close this, and within, and I'll close this here, and I'll say list item, li, and then I'll close this li tag here. I'll open another li tag, and I'll close this li tag here, another li tag, and I'll close this li tag here. And if you go to design view now, we have nice bullets in the navigation bar, and we can link, when we create other pages, we'll link these things to the appropriate pages. So footer now, so we'll go to code view, and this is the footer area. Again, we'll enclose this in a div tag, and I will call it id is equal to footer, double quotation close, and then angle bracket, and then we'll close this div tag here. Okay, now our footer is enclosed in a div tag that has an ID of footer, so we can reference this footer here as well. And I'll say footer, open and close curly brackets, and I'll say border thin solid black semicolon, and width we want 800 pixels. We want background color to be white, and let's see how, and then I want to float it to the right side. Okay, go to index page, design, and this is your footer, and we can say, I'll actually go to code view, and I'll say copy right, and I'll press this little icon here. Okay, so, and the space bar, and I'll say my company 2012 to 2050 maybe, and I'll close this div tag. So if you go to design view, we want to align this in the middle, text align center semicolon, and margin top 5 pixel. And if you go to index page, design view, And okay, we'll ignore this because when you see it in a web browser, this should still be right. So this is perfect in a web browser. The only thing is I want to increase gap here. So go to CSS and then content. I'll say margin top and maybe 40 pixel to bring it a little bit down. Okay, not the content, we have done it in the wrong place. Not the content, cut and banner, paste, and then there is a nice 40 pixels gap here. Okay, so the only thing that we want to do now, we want to put our banner here, and I think I'll close it after that. So we'll go to index page, code view, and then instead of this banner I'll say img src, and the name of the image is banner.jpg. Now because the image is in the same folder as the index page and CSS document, you don't have to state the full path here. If the image was stored in another folder, you'll have to describe the whole path. Okay, so if you go to design view, there's something wrong. Okay, code, and then we forgot to close the image tag, which is simply an addition of an angle bracket here. And if you go to design view, you have an image. So view this in Chrome, save the changes. Okay, so nice little page, and we'll also view this in Internet Explorer. Okay, so everything looks great, and that's how you simply create a create a web page, a simple web page, and control the behavior of the web page with the help of CSS. Look, if I have time, I will try to improve it, and I'll create links and I'll create an advertisement area. But for now, thank you.